What happens if you pour fresh aloe vera juice directly into the root system of your fig tree? It sounds like something out of an old gardener's folklore tale, doesn't it? You might be thinking that a succulent gel has no business being near a fruit-bearing tree, or perhaps you've heard whispers that it acts as a miracle growth hormone. But here's the truth, this isn't just about hydration. When you combine the biochemical power of aloe with the specific hunger of a fig tree, you trigger a biological reaction that can transform a struggling, pale plant into a vigorous, fruit-laden powerhouse. But get the ratio wrong, and you could rot the roots before the first leaf even unfurls. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you will know exactly how to harness this natural synergy without killing your tree. Now, let's talk about what is actually inside that clear, sticky gel you squeeze from an aloe vera leaf. Most people think of aloe as just a soothing lotion for sunburns, but chemically, it is a complex cocktail of over 200 active compounds. To understand why it works on plants, we need to look past the water content and focus on the bioactive elements. First and foremost, aloe is rich in polysaccharides, specifically a long-chain sugar called ace-mannan. In simple terms, think of polysaccharides as energy bars for cells. They provide a slow-release source of carbon and energy that stimulates cellular activity. When introduced to the soil, these compounds don't just sit there, they interact with the microbial life in your dirt, feeding the beneficial bacteria and fungi that help break down nutrients for your plant. Next, we have to talk about enzymes. Aloe vera contains 8 major enzymes, including amylase and lipase. Amylase helps break down sugars and starches, while lipase helps break down fats. You might wonder, why does a plant need fat-breaking enzymes? It's not for the plant itself, but for the soil ecosystem. These enzymes help decompose organic matter in the soil more efficiently, releasing locked-up nutrients that were previously unavailable to your fig tree's roots. It essentially jumpstarts the digestion process of your soil, making the existing fertilizer work harder and faster. Then there are the amino acids. Aloe provides 22 of the 24 amino acids required by humans, and many of these are crucial for plant protein synthesis as well. Amino acids are the building blocks of proteins, which are essential for structural growth, enzyme production, and stress resistance in plants. By introducing these preformed amino acids, you are giving your fig tree a shortcut. Instead of expending massive amounts of energy synthesizing every single amino acid from scratch using nitrogen from the soil, the plant can absorb some of these directly, or use them to boost its own production lines. This is particularly important during periods of rapid growth or recovery from stress. We also cannot ignore the mineral content. Aloe vera leaves act as sponges, pulling minerals from the soil and storing them in their gel. This includes calcium, magnesium, zinc, chromium, and selenium. While the concentrations vary depending on where the aloe was grown, the presence of these micronutrients is significant. Calcium, for instance, is vital for cell wall structure, helping the plant stand upright and resist disease. Magnesium is the central atom in chlorophyll, the pigment that allows plants to photosynthesize. By pouring aloe juice into the soil, you are delivering a gentle, chelated form of these minerals. Chelation is a process where minerals are bound to organic molecules, making them much easier for plant roots to absorb compared to raw mineral salts found in synthetic fertilizers. Finally, aloe contains natural plant hormones, specifically auxins and gibberellins. Auxins are responsible for root development and cell elongation, while gibberellins stimulate stem growth and seed germination. These are not synthetic hormones sprayed on the leaves. These are natural growth regulators present in the gel. When applied to the root zone, they signal the plant to prioritize root expansion and vegetative growth. This hormonal boost is subtle but powerful, acting as a gentle nudge rather than a forced shove, which is why it is often safer and more sustainable than harsh chemical stimulants. Understanding this composition is key because it tells us that aloe is not just water. It is a biostimulant, a mild fertilizer, and a soil conditioner all rolled into one. Now that we know what is in the juice, let's look at the recipient. The fig tree. Figs, or Ficus carica, are not your average backyard shrubs. They are ancient, vigorous trees with a very specific nutritional personality. To thrive, a fig tree has a high demand for potassium, moderate needs for nitrogen, and a critical, often overlooked requirement for calcium and micronutrients. Let's break down why these specific needs align so perfectly with the aloe composition we just discussed. First, let's talk about potassium. If nitrogen is for leaves, potassium is for fruit and overall vitality. Fig trees are heavy feeders when it comes to potassium, especially during the fruiting stage. Potassium regulates the opening and closing of stomata, the tiny pores on leaves that control water loss and gas exchange. It also helps transport sugars from the leaves to the developing fruits. Without enough potassium, your figs will be small, dry, and may drop off the tree before they ripen. While aloe vera is not a high-potassium fertilizer like wood ash or kelp meal, the enzymatic activity it triggers in the soil helps release potassium that is already present but locked up in the soil matrix. Furthermore, the stress resistance properties provided by the amino acids and polysaccharides in aloe help the fig tree utilize its existing potassium reserves more efficiently during heat waves or drought conditions, which figs are prone to suffering from. Nitrogen is the next big player. Figs need nitrogen to produce those large, lush green leaves that act as solar panels for the tree. However, too much nitrogen is a common mistake. Excess nitrogen leads to all leaf and no fruit, or worse, weak, watery growth that attracts pests. This is where the balanced nature of aloe shines. The amino acids in aloe provide a source of organic nitrogen that is released slowly. It doesn't cause the rapid, explosive, weak growth that synthetic urea does. Instead, it supports steady, strong vegetative growth. The enzymes in the aloe help break down organic matter in the soil, releasing natural nitrogen over time. This ensures the fig tree gets enough fuel for its leaves without overwhelming the system and sacrificing fruit quality. But perhaps the most critical connection between aloe vera and fig trees lies in calcium and micronutrients. Fig trees are notoriously susceptible to calcium deficiency, which manifests as leaf curl, tip burn, and poor fruit development. Calcium is immobile in plants, meaning once it is deposited in a leaf, it cannot move to a new growing tip. Therefore, a constant, steady supply of available calcium in the soil is non-negotiable. As we mentioned, aloe vera contains calcium, but more importantly, the polysaccharides in aloe improve the soil's cation exchange capacity. This is a fancy way of saying it helps the soil hold on to positively charged ions like calcium and magnesium, preventing them from washing away with rain or irrigation. By improving the soil's ability to retain these nutrients, aloe ensures that the calcium your fig tree needs is available right at the root zone, exactly when the tree demands it. Additionally, fig trees benefit immensely from the microbial boost provided by aloe. Healthy fig roots rely on a symbiotic relationship with mycorrhizal fungi. These fungi extend the reach of the roots, allowing the tree to access water and nutrients from a much larger area of soil. The sugars and enzymes in aloe vera feed these beneficial fungi, strengthening the network. A stronger fungal network means better uptake of phosphorus, another key nutrient for root and fruit development. So, while aloe might not be packed with phosphorus itself, it creates the biological environment where phosphorus becomes highly available to the fig tree. This holistic support system addresses the fig's need for balanced nutrition, stress resilience, and robust root health, making the combination logically sound and biologically synergistic. However, we must address the elephant in the room. Using aloe vera juice is not without risks. The benefits are real, but they are contingent on precision. If you use this method incorrectly, you can seriously harm or even kill your fig tree. The primary risk is root rot. Aloe gel is thick and viscous. If you pour pure, undiluted gel directly onto the soil, it can create a seal that prevents oxygen from reaching the roots. Fig trees hate wet feet. They need well-draining soil and ample airflow around their root systems. A layer of stagnant sugary gel can suffocate the roots and create a breeding ground for anaerobic bacteria and harmful fungi like Pythium or Phytophthora. Once root rot sets in, it is incredibly difficult to reverse, and the tree will likely decline rapidly, showing yellowing leaves and dropping fruit. Another significant risk is fermentation. Aloe juice contains sugars and organic compounds that are food for microbes. If applied in excessive quantities, especially in hot weather, the residue in the soil can begin to ferment. This fermentation process produces alcohol and acids that can burn the delicate root hairs of the fig tree. You might notice a sour smell coming from the soil, which is a clear warning sign. Furthermore, while aloe is generally mild, it is still a biostimulant. Overstimulating a young or weakened tree can cause it to exhaust its energy reserves. Think of it like giving an espresso shot to someone who is already exhausted. It might give a brief burst of energy, followed by a crash. If your fig tree is already stressed by severe drought or disease, adding a growth stimulant can push it over the edge rather than helping it recover. There is also the risk of attracting pests. The sugars in aloe can attract ants, flies, and other insects to the base of your tree. While ants themselves might not eat the tree, they farm aphids and scale insects, which are major pests for fig trees. If you notice an increase in pest activity around the base of your trunk after application, it is a sign that you are using too much or not cleaning up excess residue. Finally, be wary of the source of your aloe. If you are using store-bought aloe juice, check the label. Many commercial products contain preservatives, alcohols, or added fragrances that are toxic to plants. Only use fresh gel from a live plant or 100% pure organic aloe vera juice with no additives. Using a product with alcohol or chemicals will desiccate the roots and kill the beneficial soil life you are trying to support. Credibility in gardening comes from knowing not just what works but what fails, and respecting the power of natural inputs. So, how do we apply this correctly? Follow these steps precisely to ensure safety and effectiveness. Step 1. Harvest and prepare. Cut a mature outer leaf from your aloe vera plant. Wash it thoroughly to remove any dirt or latex residue, which can be irritating and bitter. Slice the leaf open and scoop out the clear gel. Avoid the yellow latex layer just under the skin, as this can be harmful to soil biology. Place the gel in a blender. Step 2. Dilution. This is the most critical step. You must dilute the aloe gel with water. The recommended ratio is 1 tablespoon of fresh aloe gel per 1 gallon of water. If you do not have a blender, you can mash the gel thoroughly with a fork until it is a liquid consistency, but blending ensures it mixes evenly. Pour the gel into the gallon of water and stir vigorously. You want a uniform mixture, not clumps of gel floating on top. If you are using store-bought pure juice, use half a cup per gallon, as it is already liquefied but may be more concentrated. Step 3. Soil preparation. Before applying the mixture, check the soil moisture. The soil should be slightly damp, not bone dry, and not soggy. If the soil is hydrophobic, repelling water due to extreme dryness, water the tree with plain water first to break the tension. This ensures the aloe mixture penetrates the root zone rather than running off the surface. Step 4. Application. Pour the diluted aloe mixture slowly around the drip line of the fig tree. The drip line is the imaginary circle on the ground directly below the outermost branches. This is where the majority of the feeder roots are located. Do not pour it directly against the trunk, as this can encourage collar rot. Use a watering can with a rose attachment to distribute the liquid gently and evenly. For a standard-sized fig tree, use about 2 to 3 gallons of the mixture. For a potted fig, use enough to moisten the soil thoroughly, usually about half a gallon, ensuring water drains from the bottom. Step 5. Cleanup. After watering, wipe away any splashes of the mixture from the leaves or the trunk. While aloe is generally safe on foliage, leaving sugary residue on leaves can attract dust and pests. Clean tools immediately to prevent any sticky buildup. This method ensures the biostimulants reach the roots where they are needed most without creating surface issues. Timing is everything. There are specific windows when you should absolutely not use aloe vera juice on your fig tree. First, avoid application during the dormant season, typically late autumn and winter. When the tree is sleeping, its metabolic processes are slowed down. Introducing growth stimulants during dormancy can confuse the tree's internal clock, potentially causing it to break dormancy early and suffer damage from unexpected frosts. Second, do not apply during extreme heat waves, specifically when temperatures exceed 95 degrees Fahrenheit, 35 degrees Celsius. High heat combined with organic matter in the soil can accelerate fermentation and root burn. Wait for a cooler evening or a cloudy day. Third, avoid application if the soil is already waterlogged or if you have recently had heavy rains. Adding more moisture and organic load to saturated soil is a recipe for root rot. The ideal time to use aloe vera juice is during the active growing season, specifically in early spring as new leaves emerge, and again in early summer as the fruits begin to set. Spring application supports the initial burst of vegetative growth and root expansion. Early summer application supports the energy-intensive process of fruit development. The best weather condition for application is a mild, overcast day or in the early morning before the sun gets strong. This allows the soil to absorb the mixture without rapid evaporation, giving the roots time to take up the nutrients. Regarding frequency, less is more. Do not treat this as a weekly fertilizer. Aloe vera is a biostimulant, not a complete food source. Apply the mixture once a month during the peak growing season. For example, apply once in April, once in May, and once in June. Stop applications by mid-July to allow the tree to harden off its growth before autumn. Over-application can lead to nutrient imbalances and soil salinity issues. Stick to this monthly schedule and you will see consistent benefits without the risks associated with overfeeding. So, what can you realistically expect to see? Patience is key in gardening. You will not see a transformation overnight. Typically, within 7 to 10 days of the first application, you may notice a subtle change in the vibrancy of the leaves. They may appear slightly glossier and a deeper shade of green, indicating improved chlorophyll efficiency and better nutrient uptake. This is the first sign that the soil biology is responding and the roots are absorbing the available minerals more effectively. By the third week, you should observe more vigorous new growth. The new leaves emerging from the tips of the branches will be larger and unfold more quickly than usual. If your tree was previously stunted or growing slowly, this is where you will see the awakening. The stems may appear thicker and more robust thanks to the calcium and amino acids supporting cell wall strength. For fruiting trees, the real test comes in the 4th to 6th week. If you applied the mixture during the fruit setting stage, you should notice that fewer young figs are dropping off the tree. The fruits that remain will begin to swell more uniformly. While aloe will not make a small fig variety grow into a large one, it will help the fruits reach their maximum genetic potential in size and sweetness. You might also notice that the tree handles heat stress better. During hot spells, the leaves will remain turgid and upright rather than wilting prematurely, thanks to the improved water regulation supported by the potassium and polysaccharides. Remember, these changes are cumulative. The first application primes the system, but the second and third applications build upon that foundation, leading to a healthier, more resilient tree by the end of the season. Gardening is a conversation with nature, and sometimes the most effective tools are the simplest ones hiding in plain sight. Aloe vera is not a magic potion, but it is a powerful ally when used with knowledge and respect. By understanding the chemistry of the gel and the specific needs of your fig tree, you can create a partnership that boosts health, yield, and resilience. I hope this guide gives you the confidence to try this method in your own garden. If you found this deep dive helpful, please give this video a thumbs up. It really helps the channel grow. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you stay updated with our next experiment. We have plenty more natural gardening secrets to uncover together. Happy growing, and I'll see you in the next video.